Huwag yung kayong magkadisgrasyahan tayo niyan. Sinasabi ko madidisgrasya kayo. At madidisgrasya kayo. Hindi ako urong dito. And I said, I would stake my honor, my life, and even the presidency.
Good morning, Malacañang. Good afternoon, Malacañang Press Corps. Let's now have Presidential Spokesperson Roque.
Good afternoon, Pilipinas, at good afternoon po sa mga miyembro ng Malacañang Press Corps. We have received guidance from the Office of the Executive Secretary that in line with our ongoing discourse on federalism, the government is preparing to receive feedback on the draft submitted by the Consultative Committee to review the 1987 Constitution. The federal constitution submitted by the 22-member Consultative Committee to review the 1987 Constitution is a very good draft. The government, however, and the CONCOM are considering the comments of all stakeholders and are open to improving the draft federal charter. The President will consider the comments of the people and can improve the draft accordingly before officially transmitting it to Congress. Now, magandang balita po sa mga motorista. Ang Department of Transportation Land Transportation Office, together with the Bureau of Treasury and the Land Bank of the Philippines, signed a memorandum of agreement last week which extends the Land Bank's online payment system for LTO transactions nationwide. According to the DOTR-LTO, the utilization of web-based payment facility of the LBP in all regional offices will reduce steps in the payment process as well as prevent any opportunity for corruption. Magandang balita rin po para sa mga magniniyog sa Bicol. Mahigit na 890 na magniniyog ang kabilang sa participatory coconut planting project ng Philippine Coconut Authority na nagkakahalaga ng 3.2 million. Under the PCPP, a farmer participant shall receive 18 pesos per seedling with a maximum of 100 seeds per hectare and 22 pesos per rooted or stabilized coconut seedlings with a total of maximum 100 seeds planted. This project encourages our farmers to plant more and increase the production of coconut. Local and foreign tourists may now travel and explore Cagayan Province through the Cagayan North International Airport located in the town of Lallo. According to the Cagayan Economic Zone Authority, the international airport has received accreditation from the International Civil Aviation Organization and is now open for commercial flights, both domestic and international. This is considered as an international gateway to the Cagayan Special Economic Zone and Freeport, which gives our global investors an easy, convenient, and faster access to the Freeport. Questions, Malacañang Press Corps?
MPC, Christine Avendano.
Sir, on the federalism, you said that, so is the palace not satisfied with the CONCOM report because you said the government is preparing yung parang guidelines to receive feedback or comments from the people?
Well, let's just say that even if the President was fully satisfied and has fully endorsed the work product of the Consultative Committee, of course, as part of the public discourse, we're open to remarks and feedbacks from the general public, and hence the announcement today that we welcome feedbacks from the people in general. No?
So how will they give yung feedback?
Well, they can send their feedbacks either through the Office of the Spokesperson or through the Presidential Communication Office or just to the Office of the President. No? It can be in writing, it can be by email, or they can even come personally if they want.
But this is on top of the, di ba you have other parang may, what's this? There's a parang program or
yes,
something
there's
that
going
you
to be a road show, and they've had two, I think, no, in the past 2 weeks. No? So there, the DILG is also gathering feedbacks from the public who have attended some of the dissemination activity on the new Constitution.
So how will this help, sir, yung feedback? Because it's Congress which will di ba, look into the federalism system.
We will consider the feedback and if need be, no, incorporate some of them in the proposal to Congress. Of course, the feedback is also important to Congress. I'm sure Congress will also have its own road show when it finally hears the proposed revisions to the Constitution.
Follow-up questions about federalism? Chona, follow-up? Chona, you.
Sir, how about ASEC Mocha? Will she still be part of yung sa info drive ng federalism?
She has not been attending the interagency meetings, no, on the dissemination. And I repeat that there will be a formal training for trainers. So if she attends, I suppose she can be one of the disseminators, no? But what is indispensable is we have standardized not only the materials to be used in the dissemination activity, but we have also a standard training program for the trainers.
Jenaline.
Sir, what prompted the President to decide to consider public feedback on this draft?
Well, you know, to be candid about it, it started when his own members of the cabinet, no, expressed apprehensions over the economic aspect of the proposed draft, no. So, that's what prompted the president to be open to suggestions and criticisms on the proposed revisions as submitted by the consultative commission.
Sir, when will the information campaign or the roadshow begin?
It's actually begun, no? They've had 2 meetings, if I'm not mistaken. I will take a major role as far as I can, given my schedule here in the palace and our regular palace briefings, no? But it's ongoing as we speak.
Sir, with this getting feedback from the people, will this delay the timeline for the federalism move? Or will you stick to the
Well,
timeline?
I'm hesitant to answer that because there's really no timeline set by anyone, no? Right now, it's the period for discussion. It's very important that we have open, frank, candid, and reasoned discussion on the proposed revisions, considering the importance of the Constitution as the fundamental law of the land.
Okay, follow-up? Christine, then Henry.
So isn't this a signal from the president that he doesn't want to rush the federalism proposal?
Let's just say that we want this to be a reasoned and an intelligent procedure.
Henry.
Secretary, ano yung official information or message from the Senate and from the House in terms of yung pagsang-ayon nila sa federal form of government?
Well, wala naman po akong naririnig na talagang pagtutol, no? Ang naririnig natin is talagang kinakailangan pag-usapan at pag-aralan natin itong mga proposed revisions patungo sa isang federalismong gobyerno.
May ilang mga senador, like for example, Senator Ping Lacson, tahasan yung sinabi na as far as the Senate is concerned, patay na ang federalismo.
I don't think the Senate as an institution has said that, no? That I think remains the personal opinion of Senator Lacson, no? Alam niyo naman po, like the House, no, they have individual members, the Senate also has individual members, but I think as a body, I don't think they have decided that federalism is dead, no? That's why we have started a period of discussion, and we hope also to have this intelligent discourse with the Senate as well.
May plano ho ang Pangulo na ipatawag or magpatawag ng caucus of pulong with the Senate and the member of the House about this matter?
Siyempre po, sabihin na lang natin na importante po ang papel na gagampan ng mga senador, so magkakaroon po talaga tayo ng open and continuous dialogue with them on federalism.
Wala pa pong schedule kung kailan, Secretary?
Alam ko po merong schedule na, but I can't say exactly when because I don't have the timetable with me.
All right, thank you.
Okay, may follow-up?
DILG is the lead po for this undertaking.
Bernadette.
Sir, does the palace expect economic managers to submit their own feedback po?
They have articulated their views. We will discuss this further in, I think, a cabinet meeting. And I think it is also incumbent upon them because the individual members of the economic team are also committed towards federalism, no? To help in the process by coming up with their own suggestions on the roadmap how to get to federalism.
So, sir, may deadline po ba ng pagsasubmit ng feedback po? Like,
Wala pa
before-
pong deadline na natatakda ngayon.
Sir, meron po bang need to reconvene the CONCOM since we are consolidating the public's feedback po?
Wala naman po kaming nakikitang ganun, basta meron na tayong working draft as proposed by the CONCOM.
So sir, you're saying po na i-consolidate lang yung feedback, then kasama po yun ng CONCOM draft. So yung pag-word po ng exact provisions will happen sa Congress na po.
Talaga naman pong katungkulan niya ng Kongreso. At walang kahit sino pong pwedeng sumulat niyan para sa Kongreso. Ultimately, it is only Congress that has a constitutional prerogative to propose these revisions to the people.
So sir, clarification lang, OES po yung mag-handle ng consolidation ng feedback.
Well, DILG po ang head sa lahat na ito. What I read was actually from the Office of the Executive Secretary, no, that we are preparing to receive feedback on the draft submitted. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Joseph Moro. Microphone.
So yung public consultation, can that not happen during the legislative process because you have public consultations when you have laws, right?
Well, I'm sure they will also have their own public consultation. This is without prejudice to the public consultation that Congress may call.
When do you plan to submit the CONCOM draft?
No date yet.
Okay. Sir, has the President changed his level of support to federalism given what the economic managers have said?
No, he is fully committed to federalism, but as I said, he welcomes all feedbacks from everyone, and we want to make sure, of course, that federalism will improve our lives. No? And that's a primordial importance.
Walang period yung public consultation? It's just...
So far, wala pa, but I'm sure there will be a deadline, no? A timetable to be set.
Okay.
Okay, Celerina.
Sir, sa timeline pa rin. So can we expect like the submission before the end of the year or by next year or after the election na?
I'll see, no? I'll find out kung kailan talaga yung timeline na. What I've seen is a schedule for the dissemination activities, no? So wala pa ako nakikitang actual timeline when they want submitted the draft to be submitted to Congress and when we're hoping to submit it to the people.
But
So
since,
that's something that has to be agreed upon also with the legislators.
but since this is a priority measure of the President, ano ba yung ideal na timeline if ever? Could that be like after election?
Hindi ko pa alam, Celerina, as I said, no? I'm only the spokes, but I'll find out kung ano yung timeline na naisip nila.
Okay, last question sa federalism. Tina.
Sir, pwede ba itong makonsider na parang ipinapackage ng Chacha parang People's Initiative?
Kung People's Initiative, di na po dadaan yan sa Kongreso, no? Oo.
Pwede bang ganon?
Well, ang alam ko po, no, may mga nagsasabi na kung talaga matatagalan ng proseso sa Kongreso at meron na tayong batas ngayon, no, na po pwedeng gamitin. Naalala nyo yung desisyon dati kung saan napawalang bisa yung pirma was because wala pang enabling legislation, no? But ngayon meron na, no? So narinig ko na rin yung ilang mga local officials na nagsasabi, no? Some governors have said na iba kasi yung proposal ng governors. Ang gusto lang ng governors, some governors, baguhin, amendahan yung specific provisions of the Constitution on local government, and they said they can do it through People's Initiative, no? So sa akin, that's always another mode of proposing revision to the Constitution, but ultimately it's submission, of course, to the people that will give it legal effect.
So this is another option taken by the palace for the
Hindi
Chacha?
pa po, hindi pa po. Ang sinasabi ko lang is, narinig ko na po yan sa ilang mga gobernador as a mode. And it is in the Constitution. But I have not heard it being considered by anyone in the palace. I've only heard local executives talk about it, the possibility.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Raymond, last question on federalism.
Sir, pero have you consulted the consultative committee about your plan for public consultation? Kasi, di ba, parang sabi nga ni Father Joaquin Bernas na pinaghirapan nila ito tapos Father Aquino, Rani Aquino, na pinaghirapan nila tapos here comes your cabinet secretaries opposing and they are supposed to have that freedom of expression when it comes to policies.
Wala pong inconsistency dyan, no? Basta papakinggan natin ang lahat dahil yan naman talaga po importante, no? Saligang batas naman itong pinag-uusapan. I don't think anyone will begrudge the people the opportunity to be heard.
Okay. So, Chief, now,
Other issue.
Other issues. Sir, have you consulted or talked to your counterparts in the Chinese government, considering they are alleging the Pamalakaya group of fishermen is alleging that those galunggong or round scad from China is tainted with formalin?
What is the question? Have I
Yeah, does the
consulted
government
with my
already
counterpart?
talk or informed your Chinese counterparts to help sort out this allegation?
Well, siguro po, hindi ko po pwedeng masagot kung anong gagawin ng mga Chino, no? Pero kung may ganyan pong aligasyon, meron naman po tayong Department of Health, meron tayong Department of Agriculture, at alam ko po, meron tayong mga phytosanitary measures, no, na po pwedeng gamitin, no? So, I think that the DA and the DOH have heard these allegations, and I don't think that the government will allow the entry of these tainted fish products, no?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Hi, sir. Sir, good morning.
Yes.
Sir, ano po yung gagawin ng administrasyon dun sa walang habas na pagtaas ng presyo ng bilihin, katulad po ng bigas, gulay, mga karne? Dahil ayon din po kay dating DTI Undersecretary Vic Dimage ba, kailangan ang rekomendasyon niya kung pwede raw po suspindihin muna yung implementasyon ng train at itigil muna yung diskusyon tungkol po dun sa train 2.
Well, naisabi na po natin yan. Nandun na po tayo sa punto na magkakaroon na po ng desisyon kung gagamitin natin ang pag-aangkat at pagbababa ng taripa para sa mga produktong ito para maibaba ang mga presyo ng mga bilihing ito, no? Doon nga po sa isda, nagkaroon na nga ng department order po ang Department of Agriculture na po pwede na mag-angkat ng ilang mga isda at pwede nang ibenta sa merkado, no? At ito po nga ay para maipababa ang presyo ng isda. At tinitignan po natin kung yung pagbaba ng taripa naman po sa ilang mga food items, no? At I'm sure there will be a decision to be made in the coming days.
Sir, urgent relief po para sa consumer. Kasi araw-araw yun Araw-araw yung pagtaas ng presyo Baka po magtagal pa yung mga pagbaba ng taripa.
Hindi naman po magtatagal yan. Hindi naman po magtatagal yan.
Like yung katulad po kasi nung, sunod-sunod din nagkaroon ng habagat, di ba? Hindi po ba i-recommenda kay Presidente na pansamantalang ipatigil muna o isuspindi yung oil price hike katulad po ng ginawa ni dating President Arroyo nung panahon po ng Ondoy?
Well, unang-una po, no, kinakailangan po ng ganung kalamidad, no? Kasi in a state of national calamity, then you can declare price controls. In fact, ito yung nangyari ngayon sa Zamboanga, no? Nag-declare sila ng price controls dahil meron declaration of state of calamity. So, may mga ganyan pong posibilidad, but there would have to be a priori na declaration of national calamity na hindi pa naman tayo umaabot sa ganon, no? Pero ang sinasabi ko po, merong mga desisyon na lalabas na alam ko po, may mga hakbang ginagawa na siguro po panahon na lang bago ma-anunsyo dito sa ating regular press briefing.
Okay, follow up. Bernadette.
Sir, do you also suspect that there is cartel in fish industry because prices remain high even after the government announced that it will import round scad po?
Hindi ko po alam kung, well, hindi pa po ako in a position para magkaroon ng kahit anong suspecha, no? Kasi pagdating naman po sa isda, alam naman natin yan na talagang nakadepende yan dun sa huli ng ating mga mangingisda, no? So, at saka bago po ito, hindi talaga tayo nag-aangkat ng isda sa karaniwan, no? At ito po ay stopgap measure nga po, no? Dahil sa pagbilis ng pagtaas.
Sir, how will the government ensure that fish imports would benefit consumers and not fall in the hands of unscrupulous traders?
Well, alam niyo po, unang-una, wala pong merong monopolya pagdating sa importation ng isda. So, kaya nga po pati sa bigas, isa po yan sa measures, no, na sinusulong natin, tarification, para mawala nga yung monopolya ng pag-aangkat. Lahat po pwede nang umangkat. At inaasahan natin na kapag mas marami na ang supply, pursuant to the law on supply and demand, bababa ang mga halaga.
Okay, other issue. Follow up. Other issue, Pia, then...
Hi, sir. Sir, President Duterte on Tuesday sa Cebu warned mayors not to associate themselves with members of the Communist Party of the Philippines. How do you think this could affect government initiatives for localized peace talks?
Well, hindi naman po association yun eh. Iba naman po yung localized peace talks that's pursuant in fact to a policy set by government, and there's even going to be an executive order, no, to provide the parameters within which to conduct local peace talks. So ang sinasabi niya siguro wag magkupkop, wag kampihan, wag bigyan ng aid and comfort itong mga humahawak ng baril at lumalaban sa gobyerno.
Sir, kasi 'di ba an important factor for localized peace talks is of course to cultivate mutual trust and respect between both parties. So if the president is warning them not to associate themselves, do you think na parang medyo mahihirapan yung localized peace talks kung ganun?
As I said, I think it is to refrain from actually giving actual support to the armed insurgents. So, iba po yan sa conduct of localized peace talks. Kaya nga po merong EO na in-issue o i-issue.
Sir, another question. Nung sa speech na din, he also questioned yung figure na 4,000 people were killed under his drug war. But this is the same number released by the PNP sa real numbers. Does it mean na hindi updated si President Duterte, or at least it doesn't have an updated, he's not updated dun sa real numbers?
Hindi po, kasi ang sinasabi lang niya is yung circumstance ng pagpatay ng 4,000, hindi ibig sabihin lahat yung illegal. Okay? So I think that is what he meant, no? Well, ako mismo, di ba, sinasabi ko nga sa inyo, I have an ongoing inventory, no? At hindi pa kami natatapos dyan, no? Pero some cases reveal na may mga kaso doon na dapat hindi naman talaga dapat kasama, no? So, yung mga ordinary homicide na wala namang kinalama, inapasama na doon sa figure na 4,000. Kaya nga ako mismo sinasabi na parang gusto ko rin talaga ma-review each and every one para malaman yan. But it's an ongoing process.
So, ibig sabihin, sir, there's a need to review yung official data given by the PNP?
To review the individual case file, no, to clearly establish if they're in any way related to the war on drugs.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Joseph, Alvin, then Jenaline.
Sir, yun
Last
lang
three
pong-
questions,
Last three batches. Sir, on China, the president has been making, how do you describe this statements now? Is he changing his tune?
He has never changed his tune. He has
Never?
been consistent.
Mhm.
It's
When-
just that there's no point openly picking up a fight with China because that's counterproductive. Again, the position is we will not give up territory, but we will now move on areas that we can agree upon and maintain the status quo on areas that we cannot agree upon. No? And of course, resolution of the actual territorial dispute will not happen soon. He has not changed his position. He has been consistent that he will not give away an inch of Philippine territory.
Yeah, when he said na dapat hindi solohin ng China yung oil and more so sa uranium, how is that going to affect the negotiation of the government with China on the joint exploration and
Nothing,
exploitation?
because what we're discussing is joint exploration. And he warned against unilateral exploration.
All right, thank you.
Okay, follow-up China. AC.
Sir, follow-up. There's a recent report, Pentagon report submitted to the U.S. Congress wherein the U.S. government is warning that China may bring nuclear power to its outposts in the South China Sea, sir. Including Mabini Reef, Macañang Reef, Burgos Reefs, and Calderon Reefs. So the report also says that Beijing is looking into nuclear stations to power these islands. Is the Philippine government aware about this? Do we know about this? And is this a point of concern?
That's a U.S. observation. We are not in a position to verify that. And as you correctly said, it is even in the nature of a speculation. It is a possibility according to American sources. No? So we leave it at that.
This is something that the Philippine government
We're
will not
concerned
verify.
about the entry of any and all nuclear weapons into the Philippine territory because our constitution provides that we're a nuclear-free zone. There's also an ASEAN treaty declaring the whole ASEAN as a nuclear-free zone, and we're concerned about the possibility that any foreign power, be it American, Russian, Chinese, may bring nuclear warheads into our territory and into ASEAN, which is declared as a nuclear-free zone.
But since it's a U.S. report, we're looking at it as mere speculation. Are we going to verify ourselves since it is a point of concern?
You know, if we could, we will try verifying, try approaching any of these suspected nuclear warheads carrying ship and see if you can actually even board them. No, I don't think they can be boarded. No, but the important point to underscore is we have a nuclear-free policy, and that should be applied to all countries, including the Americans, because Americans have been using nuclear-powered and have been stationing warships with nuclear capability as well.
Okay,
So the concern is against all possible nuclear carrying vessels from all countries.
Last three.
Okay.
Last three na. Alvin, Janalyn, and Tina. Si Ace na lang, sige.
Secretary Roque, good morning.
Yes.
Sir, may we get some details about the President's meeting last night with Nur Miswari?
I wasn't there. I tried to inquire. The only information I got was they talked about federalism. Now, this is not new in the sense that he has been regularly meeting with Nur Miswari. But again, the only thing I got was that they talked about federalism.
One more question, sir. Secretary, last week sa press conference natin, in-announce yun na magiging policy yung pag-a-announce ng mga sisibaking government official. Wala bang ipinapa-announce si Presidente?
Sa ngayon, wala pa po.
Last question, Janalyn.
Kayo talaga.
Sir, three questions lang. Sir, yung meeting with the ambassador
gosh,
of
three.
Indonesia. Sir, may details kayo?
No. That's the problem when I'm here in Manila. No? I should have gone actually, but no information also on that. I will try to get information.
Sir, on the rice crisis in Zamboanga, how will the government help the local government address this problem? Will you boost NFA supply there or run after the rice traders?
We have announced, NFA has announced that there will be Bigasang Bayan to be opened in Zamboanga, and that's of course intended to increase the supply of rice in Zamboanga and to lower the price of rice there. So the solution really is to bring in more supply into Zamboanga City.
Sir, will the government ask Peter Lim to surrender, considering he previously met with the president denying he was involved in drugs?
We're asking Peter Lim, please surrender. If you are innocent, prove your innocence in court. You will be given your day in court. I've just asked him to surrender.
Okay, maraming salamat, Presidential Spokesperson Harry Roque. Thank you, Malacañang Press Corps. Pwede pa kayo
Meron pa ba?
That's an appeal to an alleged drug lord.
No,
Please
I'm just saying surrender. I'm not appealing. I'm just saying if you don't surrender, we will still get you. But if you're innocent, then we guarantee that you will be given your day in court. We have, I think, proven to the whole world that we have an independent judiciary, and you have nothing to fear by way of being a victim of injustice. We have competent courts, so I think he should surrender.
The point I'm getting at is that are there any updates on the tracker teams? Because they've been looking for like 2 weeks already. 1 week.
Yeah, but if there are updates, you think I will announce them? Come on, he's the object of a manhunt, no?
Yeah. Is he still here in the Philippines?
There's no information that he has left.
No efforts to talk to the president for.
None at all.
Okay.
None at all. I repeat, no. I think the most that he had was there was an occasion where they both stood as wedding sponsors. But the president does not personally know Peter Lim. He cannot deny not having been in an occasion with him because, as I said, there was a wedding that they were there together, but that's the full extent. No? But despite that, he is now technically a fugitive from the law because there's a warrant of arrest against him.
Okay, thank you Malacañang Press Corps.
Sige, last.
Oh,
Baka sabihin nyo naman, may tinatago ako, no? Sige.
Sir, one quick question regarding the Ampatuan. There was this statement by the NUJP saying that they're asking for a credible explanation why Ampatuan was allowed to attend the wedding, and some of the principal sponsors were ES, Sapbongo, Mayor Duterte. So any implication on the case?
I don't think there's an implication. Officially, the panel of the prosecutors and the president joins them, opposed that motion, and were dismayed that it was granted. That's the official stand.
So any assurance na hindi maapektuhan yung kaso?
I can assure you this will not affect the case. And I
Okay.
think you know why I can give that assurance.
okay, thank you Malacañang
Okay.
Press Corps. Thank you Presidential
Thank you.
Spokesperson Harry Roque. Happy birthday kay Mrs. Myla Roque.
Sent pizza.
Yeah. Back to our main studio sa Radyo Pilipinas and People's Television Network.